Welcome back to the Garden Guys. As always, it's me, Peaches, and I am here with Wakenya.
Yas.
How are you doing this evening?
Fine, thank you.
I'm so excited that you're here.
Same.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh my. Where do how far back are we going?
Well, I noticed you have a very lovely speaking voice. You have a little bit of an accent going on.
Thank you.
So, where did you get that from?
So I was born in Nairobi, Kenya,
Okay.
like in East Africa. So I am like the definition of African American. That's gonna trigger some people. But then I grew up. I stayed there until I was 27-ish, and then I moved to the States. I'm a passport wife. I've had a passport bros. I'm a passport wife.
Passport wife? I bet you get a lot of hate for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Especially when I tell the other women to stop hating on the passport bros. There's a reason they are moving to other countries to find women. And it's not because they are intimidated by American women. So yeah. And then I've lived here about 10 years. Last August. It was my 10-year anniversary in the States. So it's been amazing and depressing. It's been different.
I believe
Culture
that.
shock has been
Yeah.
crazy. I am a stay-at-home mom, work-from-home mom. I have my own business, which I do virtual assistance, marketing, PR, project management. And then, where am I looking again?
Either one, you can
I
look
keep
up at that
switching.
one.
So I'm like looking at you.
Yeah, no.
So this one is you,
Okay.
and then that one is you.
Yes. I think
That one's more of just like an up
I think
close.
that one is more,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, focus. Sorry. It's just
You're
so
fine.
pretty, so I keep looking that way.
You
Instead of,
can look.
Stop it.
yeah.
You don't have to look at the cameras.
Okay. I'm just switching back and forth. I did study communication in college, so I'm very conscious of where the cameras are. On the side, I do have hobbies. I love to paint. I'm not a professional, I'm very much amateur, but I do enjoy it. I get some commissions every now and then. I love to dance.
Ooh,
So
impressive.
I'm the girl who's gonna go out by myself. I don't care if anyone comes along or it's just me. I'll go to a Latin club, get my salsa on all night until 2 a.m. because American clubs are lame. In Kenya, we dance until 6 in the morning.
I've actually seen videos of parties, and I'm like,
Yeah, all
too
night.
bad I'm like 4,000 miles
Oh,
away.
I was like, why do you guys close at 2? That's part of my culture shock in America. I'll tell you about that. What else? So much about me.
I'm already massively intrigued by you. So
Really?
you're doing great. Yeah.
I am I don't like saying former Christian because I feel like I'm kind of still Christian-ish, but I'm not. I grew up in the church,
Okay.
very strict household. I was coddled, well, not coddled per se, but I was sheltered a lot. Until I was about 20 something. And I was really drawn to Islam for one reason or another. So I converted for like a year. That didn't stick because there was too much clashing in the belief systems and all that.
Okay.
Especially the viewpoint on Jesus. So that didn't stick. I was still kind of lost. I was trying to find a way. And then I just ran into paganism. But it's not the paganism you think of, like the Norse paganism or witchcraft. It's more of we're called neo-pagans. Come myself a neo-pagan. You pick and choose aspects of spiritual journeys that appeal to you, and then you embrace whichever ones. So you'll see me like some crystals, meditation. The law of attraction is a huge part of it.
Oh yeah.
But I still dance to gospel music because it's a vibe.
It is a vibe.
And I still
definitely.
believe in God. I just don't pray the way I used to pray before. It's kind of,
Yeah.
my mom is very confused by the whole thing. But
Yeah.
obviously I love tattoos.
Clearly, I would not have mistaken that.
I know, right? They're permanent. Oh my God. I've had those comments. I've always loved art. I just became the canvas. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that was a very good way to say that.
Right? I put it on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
And then my I don't know if I should get into my journey on TikTok or you're going to ask about that. But that's about me in a nutshell. Oh, and I'm married, obviously. Traditionally wed for now. We did a custom wedding in Kenya.
How was that?
That was a whole story. Man, that's a whole story. I don't know how much time you have. So I was actually engaged to someone else. Oh boy. Scandalous. We were going to go to Kenya to do the custom ceremony. My mom was very aware of the whole situation, but then the whole thing happened and he ended up being a major narcissist and I was stuck. And then Scott rescued me. And there's another scandal there. So essentially, 6 months to the trip to Kenya, I'm just calling mom, like, hey, mom, so like, I met this other guy. We're still doing the wedding, just a different groom. We're still coming though. She's like, what is wrong with you? But it was a crazy experience, but it just happened. We were not even looking for each other. It just,
Right.
you know, we're both TikTok creators. We met on TikTok. We were friends way before the idea of dating even came along. So everyone in the TikTok community was shocked, but they're also really, really pushing for us to be together. So
Yeah.
you guys would be perfect. You're both really hated by the toxic male activists. You know, you're both loud and intellectual and amazing people, and it happened. And then we have our Nemo, who's 14 months old. So my parents love him.
Yeah.
They absolutely love him. And we have a long distance marriage, which is another conversation because a lot of people don't know what that means and how that works.
Yeah.
But we did live together for a while and it was amazing. But it was also a lot of clashing because I have OCPD and he has ADHD, and it's really fun
Yeah.
to live together. So this is
Navigate.
working for us.
Yeah.
And also sing. Oh yeah, I do sing.
I believe that. You look like somebody who takes the time to work on their voice and just really enjoys
Oh, thank
the
you.
freeing of music.
I love art in all forms. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Okay. So now I got to process everything because now I have some questions.
It's a lot.
It is a lot.
Should we take notes?
So first,
Yes.
what made you come to America?
Passport bro.
Oh, so it was the passport bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's a white passport bro.
Was it worth it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we obviously he's an ex-husband now, so that should say a lot. But we were married for a long time, about 7 years. That's kind of long, late. Is that?
I would say
20,
7 years is a pretty decent.
It's a decent amount.
It is, yeah.
So, and we had 2 kids together. So, I mean, it's obviously been a different situation, different country, different
Right.
culture. Yikes. The changing of the weather patterns is also something else, but it definitely been worth it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it like transitioning from being in the culture of East Africa to American
It was
society?
insane. Everything. So the community is a big part of it.
Okay.
Back home, that's one thing I miss about Kenya. We have a very strong sense of community. America, people seem to be very individualistic. You know, I see people, I'm like, oh, you had a brother? I didn't know. I haven't talked to him in 2 years. He's your brother. What do you mean? That sense, you know, neighbors looking out for each other. So say I had to go do a grocery run. And obviously I lived far away from my parents and my siblings. So, I'm a firstborn. I should probably have mentioned that. I have 3 other younger siblings.
Okay.
Your neighbors would be happy to watch your kid for you. Just say, hey, just go. We'll be right here when you get back. That was it. No, by the way, you owe me $20. It was about
Right.
in the States. It's like, wow, that was different. Getting used to that. The weather. I moved straight to Georgia, it was much colder. It wasn't as cold as Wisconsin. Yay. I have PTSD from living there through the winter. I'm just getting to that later. But it was the weather patterns. I came in the summer and the sun would not go down until 8:30. I was lost and confused.
Yeah.
Back home, sunset and sunrise, same exact time, 6 p.m., 6 a.m.
Okay. Even through the seasonal changes.
Yeah, we don't even have seasonal changes. That's it. We don't have summer and winter and fall and whatever. It's just rainy seasons and not rainy seasons. That's it.
That makes a lot of sense, though.
Yeah. So it's like, what is happening? Why is the sun still out at 8 p.m.? And then my ex-husband is trying to explain it to me. And then the whole turning of the clock.
I hate it.
I was like, what is this? Why do we have
Right.
to do this? You know,
It's so complex.
it is.
Disrupts so much in my life.
I know. You're like, so we're sleeping in more or are we waking up earlier?
Yeah.
What is happening? Even the Americans themselves are confused, so I don't.
Right.
It's not helping. The food was different. Learning about organic versus poisonous, because again, back home everything is organic. We don't label food organic. It's just organic. Like you go fetch a chicken from the wherever, then you go and slaughter it and defeather the whole thing, and everything is at the store sitting in a bag. So I'm like,
Yeah. I bet it was a little bit of a shock to go from fresh meat to
fake meat.
you're telling me that's been sitting there for 3 days?
It's got antibiotics.
Yeah,
shit
preservatives.
in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had to learn how to be very conscious about picking food, milk. So every 2 weeks for the last few months, I've been driving to BFE, like 2 hours away, to buy my kids real milk, like raw milk.
Okay.
A whole gallon. I go home, I boil it, it's ready to go. Because I got tired of going to the store and it's just white, it's just like white water with 2% of sugar or whatever. It was just, that's the kind of stuff I had to get used to.
Yeah.
So, and then of course it costs more. It's more of a pain, but I want to feed them healthy because I am a hippie, you know, in my own ways. So that was a huge cultural difference for sure.
Okay. And I have my phone somewhere. You did text over a few topics that I did
Yes.
not commit to memory.
I mean, feel free to go all over the place. I was actually very happy you wanted to interview me. I was like, what you need
I
to
was
talk
super stoked that you were willing to do it. I was like, oh shit.
about? Oh yeah, I get to be in the place I watch every day on my freaking TikTok and YouTube.
So there's a topic you sent that I think a lot of women can relate to, and it's being a single mom while being married.
Oh yeah, single married is very much a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of women experience he's in the home but he's not present.
Yep.
So is that something that you experienced?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's why the X is an X.
Yeah.
Is a part of. I mean, so at the time, I'm gonna say this about TikTok. As much as we have a love-hate relationship with it, I think everyone does.
Oh yeah.
Because it has its shenanigans. But I have learned so much: self-awareness, relationship dynamics, trauma bonding. You know, childhood trauma, all that stuff I've learned. It's like you knew what it was, you didn't have a name, and you didn't have any tools to deal with it.
Right.
So I was married to someone who was very he was there but not there. Diapers were not being changed. I was basically like essentially a single mother, but I was married.
Yeah.
We would never have real discussions about stuff. No listening to me, no emotional maturity of, hey, babe, I know this hurts to hear, but we need to talk about this. Always slamming the door, leaving me there by myself. So I'm like, okay. I just got tired of it.
I mean, understandably.
Not sharing the mental workload of the house or the chores. So it's like, at the time, again, I wasn't working. So I got, I was like, I'm a stay-at-home mom. It is my job. And I was brought up to be like wife material, if you will. Okay. African girls are brought up to take care of a home. Not that that's all of you, like your life's work. Because my mom was a working mom, but you are brought up to learn how to cook, how to clean, how to take care of your kids, how to take care of yourself, take care of your husband. So I did all that, the cooking, the cleaning, all the stuff that the new rappers say they don't do. But at the same time, I was like, I felt alone. I was like, outside of paying, not even paying the bills, outside of giving me the money to pay the bills, what else do you do? So there was no real sense of partnership.
Yeah.
So when the time came to actually separate, I got separated like on a bet. It was one of those, I got tired of being given ultimatums. It's like, if you don't do this, we should probably separate. I was like, fine, let's do it. He thought I was kidding. I was not. So he came back running, oh, I didn't mean. I was like, it's too late.
Oh, of course he came back.
I'm done.
Yeah, the groveling of,
Right.
oh, she's serious.
So it was one of those situations like, bet.
Yeah.
So we got separated. I honestly didn't feel the difference outside of the financial aspect, which again, I was working at the time. My business was growing, so I could handle the finances. Of course, it was stressful in other ways because I didn't have the running away to do my own thing without childcare thing. But I didn't feel a big difference. If anything, I felt better because I'm like, one less person to take care of.
Right. And it's not that waking up every day knowing what is it going to be today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was really, really toxic toward the end. So that feeling of, or like a foreboding almost, just like,
Yeah.
you can't be peaceful in your own house, the anxiety. I couldn't deal with it.
How hard was it for you to make the decision to finally leave?
Ooh. It wasn't hard as far as making up my mind. It was just harder as far as logistics went. Like, okay, where am I going to live if I move out? How's this going to go? What if he flips out when I try to leave? But things just worked out on their own. He'd go out of town at weeks at a time. So he'd go Monday, come back Friday. So he just went and didn't come back after I said, no, we're done. Works for me. Because I just stayed home.
Talk about a good scenario.
I
Like,
was right. I was like, I can afford this place by myself.
yeah.
And, I'm with my son. I don't have to start looking for a place. So it just worked out the way it did. I was so glad. But the anxiety was mostly just the logistics of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you prepare yourself for the separation? Like, what were some of the
Mentally?
things? Mentally, I would say emotionally,
Right.
maybe financially.
Oh, yeah. I was saving up.
Yeah.
I was racking up. Actually, that was part of the problem. So, oof. I had my own, because I've always believed a woman should have her own little nest somewhere, just in case shit hits the fan. You know, am I allowed to curse on the show?
Yes, of course.
I don't know. I don't keep it clean.
You're
But on the bleep, okay, Chris, feel free to bleep. But I'm very much a meticulous person. So when I plan. You know, so obviously I wasn't shocked. My mom knew what was going on. She knew I was planning to leave. I gave her advance notice. She was just, be careful. I was like, I got you. So I was already financially set to where if I had to get my own place, I would have been okay. But it just happened that I did not have to leave. I was ready to pay the bills, pick up on the rent, the power, the whatever. Emotionally, I was doing a lot of coaching, like self-coaching, if you will.
Okay.
And self-awareness. I learned I'm an empath. I tend to attract narcissists and they just feed off my energy, and I have to learn to be an empowered empath. And this is how to deal with this. And so I had a lot of that coaching going on. I had a very close friend of mine, luckily, who was there for me. So I wasn't alone in the world. My son had a few play dates I would plan for him. So I'd kind of made mommy friends.
Yeah.
We didn't last, but they were there at the moment and it helped me through. So yeah, that's the kind of stuff I did. And I was still doing my hobbies. I kind of went back into myself, finding myself again. Started to do my art, started to go out dancing. I felt that just kind of put some stuff back into me, some more love into myself. So I didn't feel like I was just an empty shell when the marriage was over. Yeah.
All of that, the work that you did on yourself to become an empowered empath, how did you do that? Were you seeing somebody? Were you just YouTubing it?
Oh, no, I was just YouTubing it. Like, oh, yeah. Like
That's what I did.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When I had my
yeah.
massive mental breakdown and I recognized that I was the fucking problem, all of it was YouTube. I read books. I did some podcasts.
Nice. There's a guy named MJ Harris. He's a coach. He's a life coach. He's a very gay, very flamboyant. I love him. He's crazy, but he's like, girl, don't allow this guy to do. I'm like, yes. But through that, I was like, and I learned about. There's also Dr. Ramani. She's a professional anti-narcissist, I should say, coach. And through her, I was just learning so much more about people and myself and why I attract certain kinds of people and what I should do to recover. It was all self. Then I got to a better place. Obviously, we are always healing, but being aware of it helps a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, guys, it can be done on your own. You do not have to pay hundreds of dollars a month to see somebody to fix your mental health.
Exactly. No one has the money.
Nobody
Speaking
does.
Biden economy. What is it called? Bidenomics?
Bidenomics.
Bidenomics.
I have not heard of that one.
It's terrible.
I hear that man's name and I get like that anxiety that there's like a hungry snake behind me or something.
I know.
Yeah,
It
like
gives
I
me
gotta.
the creep. I don't even know he's still alive. And
Yeah,
standing.
right. I feel like we should be in an episode of Goosebumps or something.
Let's try that. An idiocracy.
Oh yeah.
Woo, girl. Oh, yeah, and also TikTok came around that time. Well, this was slightly after my separation, and then I found TikTok.
Okay.
Actually, I'd refused to join it completely. I was like, what is this? First of all, these are just Chinese people dancing. That's what was on my FYP at the time. So I actually joined for about a few days, and I left because I just did not see the point of it.
Right.
At the time, like I said, I started my singing, so I'd do cover songs and post them. I'd do Smule. It's this app where, you duet celebrities. Obviously they're pre-recorded. And then my art. But then I found TikTok and I was like, I don't know about this thing. So I came off, then I came back later and I started doing these little silly dances and then Savage Love, those ones. And I started taking up my time. And then I just found my niche one time. And so ironically, I did not start on political talk.
Okay.
It just kind of just happened. And I call my channel basically socio-political, not just political. Because you'll see me doing some other stuff. But it was when Black is King came out. And I didn't even watch the thing. I just watched an excerpt. One of my clients was like, oh, Kenya, how do you feel about Black is King? I was like, I don't know. I don't have a feeling. I've not watched it. But I have a feeling it's going to be something that's going to make me mad.
Yeah.
Because Hollywood always tries to glamorize Africa. And when I watched the excerpt, she was like, she had her own feelings. She was like, as a Black American woman, I feel like they are totally appropriating African culture. I was like, you're right. So I took my shenanigans to TikTok. People did not like it very much. So,
I bet they didn't.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh, the beehives from the beehive did not like me very much. So her bees came stinging. I was like, why are you guys getting so triggered? I'm just,
Right.
as an African, I'm just telling y'all.
You would think, as somebody from Africa who
Right.
lived there from I don't know how
Yeah.
old you are now, but for 2 decades,
97.
Really?
Black don't crack, honey.
I have witnessed it, and she is correct. I would say maybe late 20s.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I want to be a gilf. I want Scott. I was like, babe, better watch out. 20 years ago, come and snatch me up.
Yeah. He's going to have to keep up with that moisturizer.
I've told him he needs to moisturize. Why people don't moisturize? Just
hasn't
towel
listened,
off and
has
get
he?
dressed. Like, hey, cocoa butter now.
Oh, I can't remember what we were saying. Oh, from
Why they were
Africa.
getting triggered.
Lived there for 20 years.
Right.
I would think, you know, people like to find leading experts in things, people who have experience in a
Right.
field.
Yeah.
I would trust your opinion on how things are being portrayed in America
Yeah.
towards the culture and other
Because
countries.
you're a rational person.
I take that as a really big compliment. Thank you.
You need that.
Yeah.
Because so a lot of people, they struggle with the cognitive dissonance, and it's always the same group of people. It's the victims. So everything has to be about them. So they're asking me, how can we be appropriating African culture? We are African. I'm like, you're not. You're not. You have the descent. You might. Just because you're black does not make you African. It's something I've been preaching for the longest time on my TikToks. And they're like, oh, but then our motherland. Name me 10 countries from the motherland then. And
How
then
many of them came?
Crickets. Nothing. So I would get pissed. Then I started getting called names, and I was like, I don't even know what that means. I just know it's an insult, but I don't know why you're insulting me. And then, of course, that BLM was happening at the time, and so everything kind of just came together. And I was like, this is a bunch of crap, and hence the African hippie revolution began. But that has kept me, again, creating content that took a huge chunk out of my having to obsess about, oh my God, I'm divorced. And I wasn't even thinking about that. I was
A
too busy
distraction.
annoying people on TikTok. You know?
It's kind of a hobby, isn't it?
It is. I actually
Yeah.
love making content. I realized that because I was like, you know what? Even when I'm sad, you can still inspire someone. I'm making something. I'm like, ooh, someone might like this recipe. I'm going to go ahead and record. So people who don't create content have this assumption, or I don't know why they think this way. They think we set a camera up and then you think of something to do. That's what they assume we do. Like, you know, like people cry on TikTok.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, you don't set up a camera and then go sit down and start going, cry. You know, it's you're already on the brink of tears.
Yeah, it's like we are already there.
Then you're like,
it's
you know what?
flowing.
Can I inspire someone? Let me go ahead and just hit record. You're already in the middle of crying anyways. May as well record yourself doing it. You know?
Right.
So they always assume, oh, you're crying for TikTok. I was like, I would rather someone who cries for help and gets the support they need than put up this facade of happiness and the next thing they're off themselves. It happens all the time on TikTok. I've seen it all the time. So if it's not fake, then feel free to do it. It's content creation.
Right.
It doesn't mean it's fake or pretentious. Now, the one where you have to turn the camera on and run and get back in bed and come out of bed, I have certain feelings about that.
Yeah, the get ready with me.
So you set up the camera on a timer, ran back into your bed, removed the blankets again, yawned,
Right, waking up
already-
like Anna from.
looking all glamorous. I woke up like this. No, you didn't, bitch. No, you didn't. So that took a big part of my. I love it. I love it.
That's dope. I can see it in your TikToks.
Yeah.
Your personality really shines, and I can tell you're just thriving.
Thank you.
Doing the
I'm
thing.
who you are. Like, who I'm on TikTok is who I am in person. I've met so many TikTokers who are just, yeah. I was telling Scott as a babe, I hope that the people I see on the screen, because he's actually met people, they loved us as a couple. He met them in person, they were just,
Really?
yeah, completely disengaged, not wanting to engage, not wanting to talk to him, not being friendly. So it's like on the screen they're one person, in person they're someone else.
That's insane to me.
It is, but it's true. Some people have a facade. It's a character they play online.
I'd make a scene. I'd be like, this isn't, you catfished me. Like,
Exactly, it's a
right.
moment.
Like, I'm very uncomfortable now. You are not who you portrayed yourself to be. I am.
I know where's the
Yeah.
and this person was actually a huge fan of ours. Like I was like, what? Oh yeah, she barely spoke with me. Really?
What?
They were even making videos supporting us when when all the shit was going down and the
Yeah.
doxing was happening about the past and his past, and they were huge supporters. Then they met in person, he was like, meh. So I was like, oh, I'm sorry, babe. And then, of course, when we went and met the TikTokers, people were telling him African hippie's boyfriend because they didn't know how hypocrites was. It was really funny. Oh my God, African hippie's boyfriend. He's like, yeah, babe, people were asking for you. In his own right, he's a creator.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, sorry. If I go off on a tangent, stop me.
No, I'm stuck over here. I'm like, can I name 10 countries in Africa? Or,
You can.
I'm thinking I can.
Okay.
So we have Egypt.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure Morocco,
Yep.
Zimbabwe, Nigeria.
Yep.
Isn't South Africa?
Yep.
That's 5.
That's 5.
Halfway there.
That's better than most
You're right.
who call themselves African American.
Well, I'm drawing a blank now. Israel, Afghanistan.
No. She nodded on that one. No.
No?
No.
Neither
Where
of
am I
those?
from? Where am I from?
You just told me.
Yes, and it's in my name. That's the clue.
Kenya.
Yes.
Boom. 6.
Where is the country where LGBT is banned? Starts with a U.
Ooh. Uganda.
Yes.
7.
Let's see. What other clues can I give you? Next to Egypt is a country starts with an A.
It's not Argentina. It is.
No.
Starts with an A.
Yep. Algeria.
Algeria.
Yep. And then another clue would be this country, like the quiz, 2011, it split into 2, South and North.
Ooh.
It
I
starts with an
actually remember
S.
that happening.
It starts with an S
Starts with an S.
and ends with an N. 5 letters.
5 letters. End with an N.
Yep. SU.
S-U.
Don't look at me.
You wanna phone a friend?
I was about to say I'm phoning a friend, babe.
Sudan.
Sudan.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Well, I got what, 5.
5. You
And then I had some help.
Yep. But yeah, so that's close.
Yeah.
But most of these people, you don't. But you also don't say you're African.
Oh,
That's
no.
the problem.
Oh,
if you're gonna
gosh.
claim a continent, you better know more about it.
Yeah, I
Than
would
it's
I would
Africa.
agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when I was for the longest time, I would not drive. It was part of my being married to a narcissist thing. I did not drive when I was married to my ex-husband.
You didn't drive?
No.
Okay.
I would take Ubers everywhere. It's half of why my Capital One card is. 'Cause,
They get expensive.
they add up. I would take a lift from my house, come back, and the lift driver would be like, "Is that your car in the driveway?" Yes. Is it working? Yes. Don't ask me questions. Just drop me off over there. So because I'd be like, why? Like I know I like the business. I was just in a mental lock. It's weird how much narcissism can affect you.
It's like a mental prison.
It is.
Yeah.
And once he left, within 3 weeks I was driving. Like I was scared as fuck. I was like, ah! But I drove.
Yeah.
You know, so that was a really crazy part of my life. But when I was taking the lifts, I would obviously speak with these people because I guess I have that one of those faces, like she likes to talk, so let's just try. Every single time. Half of them hit on me, the guys.
Oh. How exhausting.
I'm just like, dude, no.
Right.
I just left a marriage, leave me alone. You know.
Yeah.
The women would also make small talk. So hey, oh my god, where are you from? I call them chocolate Americans because I don't believe we are colors. So there's vanilla and chocolate.
Okay.
So where are you from? I'm like Kenya. Where that at?
Stop it.
It's in Israel. I'm like, so and then they mentioned the motherland in that same conversation. So that was like in my head. I was like, what is wrong with you? No, your home is America. You are American. Deal with it.
Right.
It's one thing if you want to learn about Africa. Wearing a dashiki does not make you African. If anything, that's appropriating because you don't even know where it's from.
Wearing a what?
A dashiki.
A
It's all those
dashiki?
African outfits Kamala likes to wear, and she's feeling black at the moment.
Okay.
And the fist. Those ones they like to wear.
I didn't
for-
know that's what that was called.
Oh yeah. So in Kenya we call them kitenge. We have them in every African country, more or less, but they have different names.
Kitenge.
So they're like, oh, you can't tell me I'm wearing this and I'm appropriating. I'm like, yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. It's like you're just putting things on to look African, but then you mock real Africans and tell us to go back to our country and say we ride on horses and I have a pet lion, which I don't. I wish I did, but I don't.
My heart, like that just devastated me a little bit.
Really?
Like, yeah, hearing that you're getting told
Yeah.
to go back to your country.
Oh, I've been told that a million times by Black Americans.
I've actually seen that in your comment section.
Yeah.
Your comment section's wild.
It is cray, girl.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't even check it sometimes. I'm just like,
Yeah.
those videos that blow up. I'm like, first of all, I don't even have the energy, and then also I don't like leaving them hanging. So if I see it, I have to respond. Sometimes I'm not in the mood. Or I can just heart.
Yeah.
But the mean ones are wild.
Oh yeah, people really reach into the depths of their
Oh my
self-pity
gosh.
and despair.
So when I started speaking out about appropriating African culture and how you cannot appropriate, because they're like, oh, we don't know where we were. We were snatched. I'm like, no, you were sold. Okay, I know it's not. I'm not trying to make a joke, but they don't understand their own history.
Right.
So I'm like, your own people sold you. Like, don't think. I mean, yeah, there were raids. There's a very, very small percentage of the transatlantic slave trade. I was like, you were sold. So this whole "you were queens" thing is not true. Like, they don't sell the queen. They sell the the guy at the bottom.
Right.
If
If this were medieval times, we could say peasants.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So I'm like, queens and kings. And when they were going crazy on me, and then, my content kind of took a little bit of a shift toward kind of now calling out BLM and being like, I don't support it anymore. This is why it's a facade, and getting more chocolate conservatives joining me. And I'm like, oh my God, you guys think the same thing? Yeah, oh my gosh, I'm not alone. I would get some insults in my Insta. My Insta is only followers can comment because of stuff like that. My YouTube, I would find comments like, oh, you're just a tap dancing coon, and I didn't even know what coon meant. So I knew it was an insult, but I didn't know the context of it.
Yeah.
Or, hey, you're a masa lover. And I'm like, I
what
don't even know what a masa is. Masa.
What is that?
It was apparently the name the slaves called the masters in the big house.
Oh.
Yeah. So I was told him as masa's lover. I was like, cool. They just made an assumption. So at the time I wasn't married at the time.
Right.
But I was also with someone at the time. So they just assumed I had a white man for some reason. I don't know.
Huh. So you're experiencing massive amounts of racism
Yep.
because you're speaking out against the wrongs you're viewing from, as you were saying, the chocolate American.
Yep. Yeah, they don't want to learn. I had a very small percentage of people who were like, you know what, you're right. How can we learn about our heritage? And I gave them I was like, you could do a DNA test if you want to know exactly where you're from. I will give you a hint. Transatlantic slave trade was in West Africa. So you look at Nigeria, Ghana, those countries, probably where you're from, if you have lineage back to Africa. So why don't you pick a country from there, learn how many tribes are there, learn what foods they eat, what languages they speak. That's a starting point. Then you're not appropriating their culture, you're actually appreciating it.
Right.
But then when I having these conversations, and I mean arguments, not really conversations, I learned where all this hate was coming from. They have a lot of vitriol from the past. And I'm like, you have to let that shit go. Kenya was colonized by the British. We got independence in 1963. I don't hold any kind of meanness or hatred toward, British people because I wasn't even freaking alive at the time.
Right.
My mom was alive, and even she doesn't care because that's a different kind of time. You can't blame descendants for the past of their own.
Right. The wrongs of their ancestors.
Exactly. So it's just a foolish moot point.
Yeah.
And then we started kind of going back and forth on that. Oh, they used to steal our culture. They did this, they did that. Well, but like that was then. This is now. Get over it. No one owes you shit. No one owes you reparations. No one owes you an apology. You can't gatekeep braids and you can't gatekeep culture. It's not yours to gatekeep.
Yeah.
And then they get pissy and the name calling.
Throw the temper tantrums.
They throw the tantrums, they send the threats. So it's just, and then you kind of learn to get used to it. Because again, when you knew, I was scared shitless. I didn't even have a PP at the time. I was still trying to embrace the aspect of becoming a PP owner, But that definitely pushed me to it. I was like, it's time. I'm a
believe
single
that.
mom. I need to protect my kid. I know a lot of this is just BS, keyboard warriors doing their thing, but just in case it's true, I need to take action.
Yeah.
So that's where that started.
When we started really taking off on things, I remember we were still below like 500,000 followers across all platforms.
Yeah.
And I looked at Chris and I'm like, I'm very terrified of like a single white female situation
Yep.
or like a Christina Grimmie situation.
Yep.
Terrifying to me.
Yeah.
And that is something that even when I tell people in my life, like this is a concern for me, like, oh, I never thought about that. I just thought about the fame and the people liking what you have to say.
You
And
don't
all
think
of
of
that.
the dark side of it.
Yeah.
Which is why, again, when people speak out about certain things, I have so much respect for them. You will get people in your inbox telling you, oh my God, thank you so much for saying that thing I couldn't say. I'm like, why can't you say it? Because they're too scared to.
Yeah.
So the fact that you can stand on your own 2 feet and just say, I know this comes with this, but I'm going to continue saying, I'm going to stand on my ground. Because what are they hoping to do when they scare you? just what make you shut up. I'm like, I'm not
Right.
gonna. My mom has actually shown her concern a few times because she knows what's going on. She's like, Joki, can you please just chill? Is it possible to can you stop TikToking? You have children, mama. I'm like, Mom, I'm doing what's right.
Yeah.
And I promise you, if someone tries coming to my door, they better make some peace with Jesus.
Oh yeah. And it better
I'm gonna
be
be
quick
meeting him
too.
tonight. She's like, just be careful. I'm like, I am. So I get her concern, but also she doesn't live here, so she doesn't see things where they are.
Right.
But it does take a mental toll on you. I was freaking stressed out that first time it happened.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a mass attack.
Oh,
they're on
yeah,
my
it's
Insta, they're on
after,
my. So I was actually Kenyan hippie on TikTok before. I was African hippie, and I changed it for that reason because I was like, I need to separate these two, because oh my gosh, the BLM crowd came after me, the white saviors came after me, the Native American victim Olympics peeps came after me, the black activists came after me, all together.
Okay.
And it was huge accounts blasting me. So like consciously or whoever, they would like blast me on their channels, and then their minions would come and harass me
Yeah.
on their behalf. And it happened so many times. But by the time I got to where, I was knowledgeable enough, I just, with comment filters, the blocking, block.
Yeah.
So I had a harder skin. So I'm just like, yeah. So now I just have fun with it.
Yeah. Having that, like, being able to have fun with it is almost what you have to do
To cope with the...
to work through all of it. Yeah.
Yep.
We've received death threats. I've been told that I'm a gender traitor,
Oh,
that I'm
wow.
a slave.
For the feminazis. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something else.
It's just mind-boggling to me. You said that, I can't remember what you called them, but you had a group of white people attack you?
Oh, yeah, white saviors?
White saviors, that's what you called them.
Yeah, that's what they are.
They're mad at you?
Yes, because I am a black girl who's clearly pandering for the white people in my comment section. Because there's nothing, let me tell you, I think the worst thing, there's something worse than a black activist is a white savior.
I
Because
believe that.
They will, and I've had some of them come head to head with me. They're like, but you are oppressed. I'm like, but I'm not. But this
so
is
sorry.
how you are. You cannot say you're not. I'm like, dude. And they've actually made videos to me. I'm like, are you not seeing how condescending you sound telling me I'm oppressed when I tell you I'm not? Just,
Right.
how can you be a proud, patriot when you're black from Africa? I'm like, I don't know, just like that. I don't know.
I mean, want to see me do it again?
Exactly. Oh, you're a race traitor.
A race traitor. Wow.
Because you have to be, they always push the victim mentality. That's
They
what the
really
victims
do.
want to hear. It's not your fault. Here you go, there, it's a white man's fault. And I'm like, no, fuck that. You're your own oppressor, They don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
So, but the white people, oh my God. I know a few of them, I just block them. Because I'm like, I'm not getting this account banned. I just got to 100 and something K. And I'm like, the
Yeah.
other one was at 600K when it got banned. It was a loss. Not so much the followers, but the amount of work I had put into that account.
Yeah. There was a lot of work that goes into maintaining an account that large.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. And you've seen so many creators along the way dropping the political stuff, like Conservative Barbie. Now she just does random things. I still follow her, but
Yeah.
there's nothing political about what she does. And I get it. But it's something I cannot not speak out. Even if I had 1 view on 10 videos, I wouldn't stop posting. Because I'm not posting for the views. I'm trying to get my message out, hoping someone somewhere is going to watch and go, you know what, let me think about this. What is she saying? Just critically think about stuff.
Right.
So when you get the feedback, like, oh my gosh, I used to be super left. Now I'm kind of in the middle. It's because of your content. I'm like, thank you.
You're able to break through that matrix a little bit to get to them.
It's tough.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is.
But I was also on the liberal side, so I get it. And I'm like, I know we all have a skeleton in a closet, but you can challenge yourself.
I too used to be a hardcore left feminist.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, I was that.
How
Fuck
did
all
you
men.
make that? I know this is you interviewing me, but I'm gonna ask you, how did you move? What changed?
What changed was I recognized that every relationship, including my first marriage, failed.